Hey guys, it's Niklas here from upgradeToLife.com, and in this video I want to share with you the 9 biggest manifestation stumbling blocks. So me personally, in the beginning of my journey, when I started out consciously manifesting and consciously reaching my goals, I would say that I kind of went through and experienced all of those 9 stumbling blocks. And also a lot of my clients and a lot of the people I talk to in the Law of Assumption community, they nearly seem to experience the same issues and face the same stumbling blocks. So that's why I decided to make this video so that you can become aware of those 9 stumbling blocks, move them aside, move forward and experience your desired reality, manifest your desires and reach your goals. So if you feel like right now that there is something in between or standing in the way to where you currently are and where you want to be, then this video will be perfect for you. Watch it till the end. Also, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that I reach more people and more people can learn about this fundamental stuff. And also, if you want to, you can check out my free masterclass. Link for that is in the description down below. So with that, I would say let's jump into this presentation. And just a little disclaimer, it may be a little bit longer because I really want to do this in detail. So, what's the first stumbling block? It's when people say that my desire seems impossible or too big to attain. And I hear this a lot of times. People in the coaching sessions or on Instagram, they're telling me they can't believe it's too big, it seems impossible. But actually, the desire is not too big, but you are making yourself too small. You are falling for what your ego and what your mind is telling you, and because of this, your desire seems out of reach and seems too big. You don't view things from the bigger perspective and from the bigger picture, but you just view it from your small ego perspective, which only perceives one reality. And of course, when your desire is not here yet, it seems out of reach and it can seem very impossible. So basically, when you have the stumbling block, what you're doing is that you place your power on the circumstances and you place your power on the 3D world. And you don't place your power on who you really are. Again, you fall for what your ego is telling you. So the only way out of this is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And through your imagination, connect with your desire, because your imagination puts you into connection with anything and with your desires already being fulfilled. Whether they are small, medium or big. There is no small or big, right? It's just like a concept. So the only way out of this stumbling block and to move it aside is to consciously over and over again imagine your desire being fulfilled. Because when you do this, then this kind of where you tell yourself it's too big will fall away, because how can you feel like it when you just experience it in your imagination, right? So you are not depending on your quote-unquote problems or what you label as problems, but your problems and your circumstances are depending on your attention. So when you over and over again place your attention and your awareness on the problems and the seemingly negative circumstances, then really ask yourself, what are you expecting to change? What are you expecting to show up? Right? It will be the same stuff over and over again. But when you become aware and you place your awareness consciously on the solution and on the desire already being done, then of course, that is what will be showing up more and more, and then your desires will manifest. So that's the first stumbling block. Move it aside by consciously using your imagination and realizing that there is never any desire that is too big. So let's move on to the second one, which is the question, can I have several desires at once and manifest them at the same time? That's also a common question, and the answer is very simple. Very simple answer. It completely doesn't matter. Do whatever feels right to you, right? I can't tell you, no, only manifest one thing at a time, or no, you need to manifest like 5 or 10 things at a time. It really doesn't matter. You should find out what's the best way to approach this for yourself, because you are the operating power. You decide what you do and how you do it. But I can only speak from my experience and from the experience of people I talk to and from my clients. And from this point of view, I can definitely tell you that it is possible to manifest several things at once. But when you are a beginner, when you're starting out, then it will maybe seem like a little bit difficult or hard to believe when you have like 10 big things and you want to manifest all of them at the same time and imagine them at the same time. Right? But I don't say that it is not possible. But you will may experience that in the beginning. It is easier to do like one thing at a time. And then when you have that faith, you can also put several things at once in one imaginal scene or in like one imaginal act. And then you can manifest them at once. So, like I said, it doesn't matter. Your only job always is to imagine your desire already being done, even without any evidence. This is actually the purpose of life. Your purpose is to get more and more aware that your imagination creates your reality. What you imagine is then physically manifested, and more consciously use your imagination. Okay, so that's the second stumbling block. Move it aside by, again, always imagination will be the solution, right? But I also want to explain the stumbling block so that you can become aware if you maybe are standing in front of one of those, right? So what's the third one? The third one is, in my opinion, the biggest one, because it is when people say that I've been trying for a very long time, but nothing is happening, nothing is changing, my desires are not manifesting, and then people ask themselves, am I doing something wrong? Is there more I need to do? And this is really a big one, I would say. So, how to move this one aside? When you tell yourself that nothing is happening, then what are you imagining? What are you imagining when you're telling yourself nothing is happening? Most probably it is that nothing is happening. There's no progress, I'm doing something right, and I don't say that this is a very bad thing, but it can definitely delay the manifestation and delay your goals from manifesting. So also please understand that nothing needs to happen on the outside because it already happened. Okay, I will explain this to you right now. Because you don't imagine something that then needs to happen, but you imagine it because in the moment of imagining it, it happens. And this is this key is the perspective. This perspective is the key, and this is the game changer. Because when you go into imagination and you consciously imagine your desires, and you understand that while you are imagining them, they are happening right now. Because there's only the now, creation is finished, and you can never experience and imagine something that is not already real and happening. You will understand that, wait a second, I don't really imagine for and then wait around for something that needs then to manifest, but actually it kind of manifested the moment you imagine it, so it is already done. And when you adopt this perspective, then this stumbling block will move aside, because how can you tell yourself nothing is happening when you just experience it and you know that it is already done? So, very important. And like you know, is that your physical reality is only and ever the shadow and the effect of your imaginal actions, right? Your imagination is always the cause, and then your physical world, what is manifested, is the effect. Okay, so when nothing happens, the problem is only your imaginal activities and not the circumstances. Well, when you look and you see seemingly negative circumstances, this is not the cause, or this is not the problem. But your problem is when you fall for those circumstances and react to them and feel and think like, oh my God, that's standing in the way of your manifestation, and then over and over again put your awareness on the circumstances instead of imagining the end already being done. So that's the third stumbling block. That's a big one, and I want you to move this aside by understanding that the moment you imagine your desire, it is already done. And it's all about really gaining this knowledge and understanding that. So what's the fourth stumbling block? Is that I can't see myself healthy, wealthy, or with my desire, right? I just can't see myself. I can't visualize with it. I really can't see myself with that desire. And what you need to understand is that you don't need to see yourself with your desire. I know that Neville Goddard, and also me personally, a lot of times talk about like visualizing and in first person point of view experience your desires. But the thing is, you don't need to see. You don't need to use your sense of seeing, because there are infinite imaginative activities that imply that you have your desire. So you can hear the voice of a friend, you can feel a hug, you can smell something, you can use all your senses. You don't need to only depend on seeing something. This is also a common stumbling block that people tell themselves, I can't move forward because I can't see myself with it, so it will never happen, it's impossible, and then they struggle, right? But when you understand that, wait a second, no, I can also create a scene where I touch something or where I hear something, which is also my favorite, then you will experience and understand that, wow, that's actually also possible, okay? So it's not about what you see or feel or hear, it's more about what that imaginal act implies and what state it helps you to move into. So don't focus too much on, oh, I need to see this, I need to feel this, I need to hear this. This is all great, but what this will do is it will shift you into the state of knowing that your desire is already done. And that is what this is all about. So that's the fourth stumbling block, right? And it's important to do it with ease and fun, as always, with all manifestations, with all the tools and things. Do it with fun, because when you don't do it with fun and with ease, it will always feel like work and will always feel like very exhausting process that you need to do, and you need to check off your to-do list, and will always feel like work. But that's not how manifesting should feel. It should feel like very effortlessly and fun, okay? So the fifth stumbling block is also a big one, which is when people ask, am I on the bridge of incidents or am I on the bridge of events, and can I miss an opportunity? So I didn't use this opportunity, is now my manifestation gone, and am I possible to manifest it again, right, when I missed something out? So the thing is that everything happens to fulfill your assumption. So when you have an assumption, when you step into a new state, then basically everything that happens is there to fulfill your desire, right? So you are always on the bridge. After entering a state, everything happens automatically to fulfill your desire. And this is also key to understand. So you should see everything that happens, good, bad, and different, as part of the unfolding of that desire. Because when you label things as negative or no, this is not part of the bridge, then again, you will delay things and you will make it more difficult than it needs to be. But when you realize that everything is part of the bridge, the moment you step into this new state, then it will be a lot easier for you to kind of really experience your desires, right? So never judge the bridge, never judge events that are happening. See everything as part of the unfolding and let it be very naturally. And natural and effortless and free-flowing. Very important. And another important thing is that you think you have a choice, right? But the choice already has been made based on the state you are in. So everything you do because of the state of consciousness you are in. And you may, even Neville has a great quote, I will put it in the description. He says that you think you have a decision on what you can do, but you will do, everything you do is based on your state, based on your assumptions you have for your own, and based on your self-concept. So again, when you imagine it, when you step into this new state, then see everything as part of that unfolding, and that's the only way you will move this stumbling block aside. Okay? So the sixth stumbling block is when people say that I need to let go of my desire in order to manifest it. Also, again, a big block. All of them are big blocks. That's why I put them in the video, because those are the most common ones. And this one, I totally get it, because there are some teachers out there that say that we need to let go in order for our desires and our goals to manifest. And there are some teachers that say, no, you don't need to let go. You can think about your desire as much as you want to, and it will still manifest. Let me explain to you what this stumbling block is about and how you can move it aside. So first thing to understand is that you can't consciously let go. You may have tried it. You may have had a desire where you then said, okay, now I want to let it go. But then you experience that you really can't let go. You just can't consciously say, okay, now I let go and stop thinking about it, because the thoughts will always again and again come up and it will seem impossible to let go of this. And this is natural, because letting go happens automatically when you embody the wish fulfilled and you are self-persuaded that your desire is already done. When you are in the state of it's already done, I'm already the person I want to be, then you will naturally start to let go, because then you are so convinced that it's already done. Then your doubts, your fears, your worries, your insecurities, all of the stuff will move away, because you are in this new state. You are in a state of knowing that it's already done, and then you quote unquote let go. But also letting go, like I just said, means letting go of all of this doubts, fears, and searching for the next solution, searching for the next fix, searching for science, and thinking about how it's going to happen. This is what letting go means. So letting go is not about that you need to stop thinking about your desire any longer. So to explain this stumbling block, you automatically let go when you're in a state of the wish fulfilled. But this doesn't mean that you're forced to stop thinking about your desire, and that's the only case it will manifest. Try it out. Why just try it out? Try everything of this out. Those are the things I'm sharing with you from my experience, from what I've read in books, from the people I'm working with, and what I see people facing in the law of assumption community. But don't take everything also I say at face value, right? Very important. But yeah, that's what I'm telling you from my experience, that you don't need to force yourself to let go, and that's the only way your desire will manifest. Don't tell yourself those stories. It's just another story. I need to let go and then it will manifest. Rather, focus on your state. Focus on your self-concept, because that's actually the real shit that gives you long-lasting results, that gives you like the real results, and not any quick scheme, any quick technique kind of thing, okay? So you don't need to let go, but you will naturally let go of all the negative stuff when you focus on it's already done. And that's this stumbling block, right? Now, the next one is when people ask, or when people say, I don't know if I'm in the right state. But I don't know if I'm embodying it correctly. I don't know if I visualize correctly. I don't know if I'm doing it right. So the thing is, when you ask this question, or when you say this, then this implies that you are actually not in the right state. Because if you are in the right state, then you would know that your desire is done, and you wouldn't ask this question, you wouldn't say this. While it's impossible to be in like two contrary states. You can't be in a state of wish fulfilled and in a state of fear and doubt and worry, and it's not done yet. So again, when this comes up, and when you tell yourself, am I in the right state, then that's an indicator that you are actually not in the right state. But that's not bad, because as you know, you can always move into the right state again. So what you should do is you should watch your self-talk, because your self-talk indicates your current state. So when you become aware of the conversations you have in your head, and those are the opposite of your desired reality, then that's a good indicator that you should shift again into the right state. Not maybe, but you should shift into the right state, okay? So if you realize that your self-talk hasn't changed, then the only thing you need to do is go back into your imagination, consciously move into the state of it is already done. I experienced it, it's already done, creation is finished, there's nothing more for me to do than embody this new state. And another indicator, and in my opinion one of the biggest ones, is your reactions towards people, circumstances, events, and also your reactions to your inner self-talk. Because when you keep reacting, when people, for example, telling you the opposite of your desire, or you see seemingly negative circumstances, then that's a good indicator that you're not in the right state. Because when you are in the state of embodying your desire, then you actually don't care what's going on. You don't care what your mind is telling you. You don't care what the circumstances are telling you, what people are telling you. You know it's already done. That's key. So, the 8th stumbling block is, what can I do in the 3 world to speed up my manifestation? Is there anything I can do to make it go faster, to get my desires faster, to reach my goals faster? What can I do physically here, right now, to speed things up? Big question, actually a good question, I would say. And the answer is also simple. Very simple answer. You may guess it, but the answer is nothing. Change only happens within and should happen within. And this change is then mirrored back to you. So there is nothing on the outside you can force or you can do to speed things up. Okay? Only change your self-concept, as Neville taught it, right? As Neville explained it. Because when you change your self-concept, you change your self-talk, you change your perception, and you change your state of being, and then you embody this new state, you embody this new role, and you know that your desire is already done, and that's the only thing you need to change. But when you try to force things, right, when you try to shake your physical reality and want to have things faster, then you can try, but you will only experience that this is just a quick fix, and this will never bring you long-lasting results, because as within, so without. You need to start within. You need to change your inner world, which is then projected out in the physical reality or being projected out. People respond to you and how you see yourself, and circumstances are based on your self-concept. So only focus on within. And you will only and ever do actions and have the experiences you have based on your state of consciousness, which is the source of everything. And I explained this in the previous stumbling block, that this is the only thing you need to worry about. Right in the beginning of my journey, when I started out, I didn't understand this, and I kind of put this to the side because I wanted to do techniques. I wanted to have quick fixes. I wanted to have everything right now, which is okay. But you will realize that when you stop focusing on forcing yourself to saying an affirmation 1,000 times again without believing it, force yourself to do things, try to shift your actions before you really change your state of being, then you will always experience that nothing will change long term. And this is a very painful thing for you to experience, and I don't want you to experience that. That's why I tell you to focus first on your inner world and focus first on your self-concept, and then you will see things change. Okay? So, the last stumbling block is, can I manifest things along the way? Can I manifest events along the way? Can I manifest things in the middle before actually the end result is happening? So an example is when you want to manifest a relationship, and then people ask, okay, can I manifest a text message? Can I manifest a date? Something like that. Just in general, can I manifest things in between? That's what this stumbling block is about. And the answer is yes, but also why would you? Because when you do this from a place of fear that the end result is not happen, then you shouldn't do it. Or are you doing it from a place of it's already done? Because that's a big difference. Because when you try to nitpick the process and manifest middles and things along the way, and you're coming from a state of fear because you don't believe that your end result is already done, it's already real, you just experienced it in your imagination, then it will feel like hard work and that the process will be kind of delayed. But when you come from the place of, yeah, of course it's already done, of course I can manifest now this and that because I already have my desire, then that's another place you come from. And then I would say that this is no problem to manifest things along the way. So it's depending from which perception, from which place you're coming from, okay? So me personally, I'm a fan to go to the true end, because when you do this, it takes away the questions, the doubts, the fears, the insecurities. When you only go to the true end and stop caring about the in-between things. Because is it really so important on what happens in between when you know that your desire is already done. It actually is not. It's just your fear and your lack of faith that it will happen, that you want to try to manifest things in the middle. And here's the last reminder, and that is you can never mess things up because there's nothing that is against you. When you understand this and when you develop this mindset and really integrate this in your self-concept, then it will also be very easy for you to reach your goals and your desires kind of faster and more on a consistent basis. Because guys, there is nothing against you. There is no one and nothing that's against you, because everyone is yourself pushed out. Everyone is part of your consciousness. And your consciousness is the operating power. So there is nothing outside of that. There is nothing against you, okay? Understand that. And I'm sure that by now, I know it's a long video, but by now you saw what are the most 9 biggest manifestation stumbling blocks. You have the tools and you have some tweaks on how you can move them aside so that you can manifest your desired reality, okay? It's been a long video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on those stumbling blocks. What are maybe some you experienced and what are some that you are now can let go of, so that right now, because you know what those are. Okay, let me know. I'm very excited to talk with you in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Talk to you soon. Bye guys.